Welcome to podcast YY Japan. Hello guys, I'm the host. My name is Meshida and my co-host is...
Hi guys, I'm apparently the co-host. My name's Bryony. In Japan, everyone calls me Lai.
So can I say co-host? My co-host? It's weird in English.
It's fine. It's as long as we don't start saying my girlfriend or anything like that, I'll accept co-host.
So, Rai-chan, can you introduce today's our podcast theme?
So today we're going to be talking about a topic Meshida knows a lot about, hostess bars in Japan. So this is your specialty.
I think you know more than me.
That makes it sound like I go all the time.
To be honest, when I was an employee or a salaryman, so when I went to business trip, sometimes I went there with my co-workers and enjoyed talking with hostesses.
Sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But nowadays, I quit my job. I don't have enough money, even though I want to go there. That's why recently I don't go there. Yeah. So, Rai-chan, first, can you introduce the different types of hostess bars in Japan?
So there are lots. We're going to be looking at a few main ones today. So girls bars, kyabakura, lounge, clubs will be the main four, sort of from staff-wise, working-wise, from cheapest to most expensive.
This is just only talking,
Yep.
not for sexual service. Yep. Can you talk about the differences? What is the difference between these four?
Oh, these four?
Yeah.
So girls bars, you're usually on the other side of the counter because as soon as you sit, Japan has a law where if you're sitting next to a customer, it counts as like night work.
Yeah.
So by a girls bar being across the counter, it doesn't count as that. Kyabakura is usually you get a much lower hourly pay, but you get a much higher percentage of all the drinks your customer buys. So if you're popular, you can earn a lot. If you're not very popular, you won't earn much.
That's why when I went to Kyabakura, always hostesses, try to make me so drunk.
Yes.
Oh, you're so handsome. Yeah, great. Can I drink more? Of course, you can drink. I paid a lot before.
It's often the same with girls bars as well. You get that. Lounge is usually more, you get paid an hourly fee. Same with club. And they're more expensive. So like, I think lounge is usually more like 2,000 to 4,000 yen an hour, and clubs are usually more like 4,000 to 6,000 or 4,000 to 8,000 yen an hour. So there's not as much of a necessity yourself to get customers to buy drinks because you're getting an hourly pay anyway.
Club is super expensive.
Yeah.
I think many famous people, celebrities, our CEO, kind of go there, and usually the hostess have knowledge about economics, and they are very smart. Yeah.
I had a friend who, because she lived in a really nice apartment. It was on like the 32nd floor, huge apartment. So every day she would like read the news and she'd read books on how to be a better hostess.
Yeah.
There was a lot of effort that went into it.
It's my image. Some of top hostess is a kind of, how can I say English? Aijin?
Mistress?
Mistress? No. Kind of. Mistress.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the hostess.
Depends on the hostess.
I feel like sometimes as well, especially sort of the snack bars, which I don't think we mentioned yet.
That's our favorite place.
Yeah.
Snack bar usually, it's like old women host everything.
Like running her own little bar and then sort of support her. I feel like that kind of place, they're almost like a therapist.
Yeah. I totally agree with you.
It's sort of like a chance to talk.
Yeah. Because when I was working, one of my friends loved to go there. First, I didn't want to go there because I don't want to talk with old women. Yeah. But once I went there, I talked. She was like my kind of good mom,
Yeah. They're really good at getting to know everyone and being really supportive. I actually worked part-time in a snack bar once.
Oh, really?
And it was really nice. She insisted I learn like these old enka songs for the customers, but if I went in on my day off, she'd like give me a drink and some food, and you know, it was just a really nice sort of like mothering atmosphere. It was really sweet.
Yeah. And then sometimes I went to there, I talk about my ex-girlfriend, we had a program, and always Mama-san gave me a good advice.
Yeah.
That's your fault! You have to apologize her! Oh, Mom, I understand, but I can do it. Why? And she always tried to fix my problem. And
just saying,
yeah.
If you're in an argument, guys, apologize. It'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. That's the easiest way. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice home life there.
So, Lai-chan, when you were young, I know you are still young, I know,
Yes.
but when you were so young, I know you worked one of those kind of places.
Yes.
So,
Let's hypothetically speaking, we'll keep this on a hypothetical level. Hypothetically speaking, I worked in a lounge. Like I've also worked part-time in a snack, and I've also worked a bit in a girls' bar.
So, first, where did you work?
I think I worked in the snack, and then one of the customers introduced me to the lounge.
Okay.
Which was really interesting. Or maybe it was the other way around, actually. I can't remember. No, that's right. There was an English bar in Osaka, and the owner used to go to this lounge, and he introduced me. And he took me and was like...
But that lounge hired a lot of foreign ladies?
No, there was one other girl who was like Brazilian or something.
Brazilian.
But mostly it was all Japanese people.
At that time, can you speak Japanese?
Yes.
Oh, really? That's good. Oh.
So it was just sort of, he was like, oh, I have a place you might want to work. And then a customer there introduced me to the snack. And I never knew this, but because it's technically stealing a like staff member, it had to be done sort of check with the mama-san. Check with the mama-san. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if he just introduced me, it would be like stealing your staff, and he could get in trouble.
Okay.
Because the whole night world in Japan has a lot of rules.
I heard it before.
Even in bars, I found, I have friends who own bars, and like, they have to go around the other bars occasionally to buy a drink and just to visit. And then the other bar owners come to their place to buy a drink. And it's just to keep like the connections
kind of
going.
Help each other.
Yeah.
Try to be kind of try to cooperate together.
Yeah.
That's why if someone breaks the rules, maybe Yakuza appear.
I have to say, luckily, I've never had any dealings with Yakuza.
You have never.
I think it's like, everyone says like, say, Kabukicho is really dangerous.
Yeah.
But the Yakuza level is not on the daily street level. So if you're just working in Kabukicho, you're not really going to come across Yakuza. It's like, maybe the very owner would be paying money or something, but it's never on a level you
usually
would see
employees and workers, actually, they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Usually just connected to CEO or like a top of the hostess or something like that.
Like the only thing I heard was in Hiroshima. One time I walked down and a shop's window was broken.
Yeah.
And someone, like a scout, said like, oh, it was the Yakuza because they didn't pay them or something.
Oh, really?
So like, I'd heard it, but I mean, I never saw anything like that happening. It was just a friend, scout told me like, oh, that's what happened, kind of thing.
Yeah. But usually, I think everywhere the hostesses and workers don't realize it because behind something happened.
Yeah. It's not at the staff level at all.
And you worked in Osaka.
Yeah, so this might be different in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Because like host clubs and that I found have sort of different names for the types here in Tokyo to Osaka. So I only know Osaka and Hiroshima sort of style. And this was a while ago. Things change very quickly in Japan. 8 years is like a lifetime here. So it might all be different now.
And then, so you said you worked in like a lounge.
Yes.
Lounge is not club, not kabakura. It's kind of between kabakura and club, maybe.
Yeah, price-wise, I think. You get
Price-wise,
more money working in a club, but it's also a little bit more high-class structure.
This is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Not super expensive, but expensive.
Yeah.
So usually customers are like middle-aged men and old men.
Yeah.
So it means it's kind of boring to work there, no?
That's why you drink. I mean, for me, if it comes down to teaching English or hostessing, they're pretty much the same, but hostessing gives me alcohol. So I prefer hostessing because at least the alcohol helps. But you do have some nights where it's just terrible.
So usually, how long did you work there? A day? From what time to what time?
Gosh, I don't remember. Probably something like 7 or 8 until 2 in the morning or something.
2 in the morning. You drank a lot?
I mean, you can only drink when there were customers.
Your customer said, "Oh, you just drink. You can drink."
I mean, your customer never really usually said no. So most customers buy a bottle.
And their own bottle.
Yeah, they have their own bottle. So when they come, you put out their bottle of whiskey. And usually everyone can drink from it. So you'd just be like, can I have some too? Take a seat. So if it was a customer who spent a lot of money, there would be lots of girls at their table because everyone would drink and finish the bottle faster. So by that way, how much money you spend, you get more girls coming. And then if you wanted a different drink, like the girls who were very good would just, like at getting money, would just be like, I'd prefer this drink. Can I have a cocktail? And then they'd have to pay like 100 yen for a cocktail. But if you bought lots of drinks, you'd get extra money. But I was fine just like, yeah, I'll just drink whiskey. Cool. Whiskey's good. But so you just sort of drink the customer's bottle. They never really said like you can't drink whiskey or anything like that. Like it would be rude to just say no. You can't.
I know
water.
if customers say that, it means I don't have money.
Or, you wouldn't. I find girls' bars places are more likely to do that. Guys will come in for a drink and just want to get one for themselves and not want to buy the girls' drinks. But usually by like lounge level, it's sort of expected that you're like meant to get everyone a drink.
If the man say, please don't drink, it's maybe you guys, oh my god, look at the guys. Oh my god, it's terrible,
He'd probably end up with just like one girl sitting there talking and like
then
switch up quite quickly because everyone wants to go to a different table. And,
So, and how long did you work there?
So about 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. So did you enjoy working there?
Yeah, I did. My place was a little bit sort of free. So the mama-san used to also get really drunk. And she used to come in and it was a very naughty gai place. So part of the reason they liked is like when I got drunk, I would speak Osaka ben. And I would also speak tameguchi or just like casual Japanese, even to the mama-san. And
because you're a foreigner.
And I was drunk. When I'm drunk, I get very...
Other Japanese hostesses also talk to her in Tameguchi?
Not usually. But when I'm drunk, I tend to speak to everyone in Tameguchi.
Yeah, and you say, I am studying Japanese now. Keigo, polite Japanese is very, very difficult. I can't speak. We allowed him. That's a guiding privilege.
Well, I think that's why my place, though, they liked entertainment. So there was another girl who would just get really drunk and get really loud. And just sing karaoke and like jump around.
Wait. Your place, your lounge had a karaoke?
Yes.
Oh, really? And then when one customer starts singing, everyone can hear.
Yeah.
Because it's a big lounge. Oh, really?
You don't know true embarrassment until someone has asked you to sing a song in English and you sing it and the karaoke machine says, you got 20%. Like the whole place is looking at me. I was like, I can't sing. But so my place, I think a more formal place wouldn't have done that. My place was much more like entertainment. So even if you got drunk and were just running around, everyone would just be like, look at her, look at her. And that was part of the appeal of my place. It wasn't very posh.
Okay. It's not like a hostess. It's just women always smile and then so treated customers very well and praise. Yeah, that's why you were hired.
Yes. I was the entertainment.
But you worked in girls' bar snack hostesses. So those places are don't provide sexual services.
Yes.
But many Japanese men, usually like a Japanese middle-aged man, old man, go there and just drink and talk. Sometimes my foreign friends say they can't understand why Japanese men go there. Because nothing, just talk, drink, and then pay a lot of money. So often my friends say that. But so you worked there. What do you think? What is the reason why some Japanese men love to go there and spend a lot of money, just talk with, of course, beautiful women. Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful women.
The first time you've called me beautiful.
It depends on
Okay,
yeah.
stop talking now.
But lounge is like a kind of middle class hostesses. Top hostesses like club.
Yeah.
So you can work there. You mean like you are above middle class.
Yeah, I'll take the compliment. I think, it depends on the guy. So you said you don't go because you don't have money, but you want to go. So why do you want to go?
Because now I am working from home all day. Usually I don't meet anyone else except for Lai-chan.
Good to see your social distancing. I'm happy.
But listen, so when I go to the lounge or kyabakura, and I say, oh, I'm a comedian, I perform in English, I introduce Japan in a funny way, they reacted very good way. Oh, you're a comedian, oh, you speak in English, you're so smart, amazing, I feel so good.
They laugh at your jokes?
Yeah.
For once, people are laughing.
Yeah, it fulfills a desire for my approval.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think most of Japanese men, the big reason why we go there is fulfill our desire for approval.
Yeah, I guess especially with older men.
I'm satisfied.
But, society-wise, I think a lot of the guys who are 60 or 70, when they started in companies, it was a very different society. And you looked up to your shacho more. And now they've got to the top, and younger people are like, yeah, I don't want to work at that company, and don't listen to them. So I think being listened to is a big part of it. I find there's sort of a few different types of people that go. So there's people who want to just talk and have everyone go, oh wow, can you tell me more? 知らなかった. And then there's the guys who got married sort of more for convenience. Like they work, their wife has a family. And I've had guys tell me before, like, my wife doesn't want me to come home until tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's like, I've got kids now. I'm raising my kids.
Yeah. Actually, like many salaryman middle-aged employees, have the same problems. They don't want to go back home earlier because they don't know what should they talk with their wife.
And some wives just don't want them.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that kind.
Yeah.
There's the kind who honestly hope they'll make a hostess their girlfriend. But then there's also the kind who I think just realize that you're paying for entertainment. So it's kind of like paying to go see a show to be entertained for an hour. You're paying money because the hostesses are good at conversation. With friends, sometimes you're all just sort of like, what do we do? But like the hostess's job is to make sure things run smoothly. So if there's silence, you'll introduce conversation, you'll suggest a game, you'll suggest the song. And so there's also people who are just like, I'm willing to pay for that.
And of course, in Japan, our society, on public, we always try to be nice, kind of polite. I think the reason why middle-aged Japanese men or old Japanese men go to kyabakura, our hostesses, because nowadays, our society is literally strict about sexual harassment, kind of misogynist, our remarks. So they can't talk with their female coworkers about those kind of topics. Even go drinking with them, it's not good. So that's why they go there and then they can talk with hostesses. Even sex jokes or dirty jokes. Yeah, then they can relieve the stress maybe. When they are working, they just show their public side. Kyabakura, our hostesses, kind of can relieve their stress and they can talk everything they want. Of course, not everything, but they can relieve, their real feeling.
Yeah, like I think on Wikipedia and that it often says like you're not meant to talk about anything sexual, but in general I found everywhere does.
Yeah.
It's very common. Like you're not, in general, if you think of going to hostess, you're never going to go home with one. Some hostesses do choose to sleep with customers, that's their choice, but in general it's frowned upon because the point is like you want your customer to come back. So it's usually better not to. But conversation, usually everyone does sort of dodgy jokes, flirty topics, you know. It's a chance to say it without it becoming real. Because I've noticed, like, Japanese guys will want to say something, like, oh, after this, why don't you come to a hotel with me or whatever? But they say it because they know you won't go. So then if you turn it around and you say, like, oh, okay, sure, but I mean, you have to be really good in bed, because if you're not good enough, I will judge you. Then all of a sudden, they're just like, anyway, change the topic.
Really?
Yeah, they get really scared off if you turn it around on them. And so it's sort of that whole, I can make dodgy jokes without it going into anything as well. It's sort of safe. You can just talk about it. Like, not hostess clubs, but host clubs. It's sort of the same in that I know I can say whatever I like at a host club, and they're not going to try and hit on me or anything like that, because they want me to come back. So, like, depending on the host, some of them, again, are open to sleeping with customers, but only if you want it. So if you're just like, I just want to have fun and drink, then they're kind of like, okay, because you're the paying customer. So you're basically paying for the freedom to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And just have people going, 面白い! 知らなかった! じゃあ乾杯しよう? Like, that kind of, you get to feel good and feel popular. And I think that's sort of the same with hostess. Like, you go home and I think a lot of Japanese couples don't really talk at home.
Really?
I saw a TV show where they were seeing how much husbands and wives spoke to each other.
Ah, you mean like married couples?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
They just don't.
Yeah, they don't
Japan,
talk.
they don't talk. So I think it's also a chance to, like, talk to someone and have that sort of...
Yeah. Actually, like, when they married, have a kids, usually wife doesn't praise husband. And then...
To be fair, once they have kids, I don't think the husband does anything. What is there to praise? You drank your beer very well today. Good job, honey.
Yeah, but that's the reason why, you know, hostesses help them, like, feels them good, you know.
I feel like it sometimes gives guys, how can I say this nicely? Confidence they don't deserve, because you compliment anyone as a hostess. And then I think some guys just start to think that they're really attractive. So, like, I've noticed from hostess clubs I've gone to, friends and things, if a guy has a stomach, everyone will be like, kawaii.
It's positive, very positive.
They think it's cute. Yeah. But then it also means, I've noticed, like, one time a guy on the beach, I think he was going to hit on us. We ran away, because, he came up to us going like this. And stroking his stomach. And I think it's because he went to too many hostess clubs. And they were always like, kawaii! And so he's just like, look, I have a cute stomach. And we were just kind of like, whoo, and ran away very quickly. But I think sometimes it gives you that false confidence. You get so used to people doing it because you pay for it, that you forget that if you're not paying for it, they won't do it. I've sometimes seen the same false confidence with foreign guys in Japan. Because Japanese girls love them. And so you'll sometimes find, like, Kiwi or Australian or whoever guys will hit on other foreign girls and they'll be very confident. But compared to back home, their looks are very average. Yeah,
actually, like, for foreign man, especially Western or white man, Japan, it's their kamakura.
They get very confident.
That's a good point,
like,
you know?
Japanese girls love me. And we're just like, I'm not Japanese.
Your English is so good. Even though they just speak their mother tongue, you know.
I have to say, I hate that. People are like, your English accent is so good. And I'm like, okay, I studied Japanese for 8 years and you're complimenting me on my native language. Why?
But that's a good joke. I totally agree with you. Yeah. That's why, I mean, some Western guys, kind of, for them, it's very comfortable here.
Yes. And I think it's the same with hostess clubs, and that because you can pay for it, they often get very confident that, all girls will want to go to dinner with me. So, like, I've been hit on in the streets of guys just going, do you want to go for dinner? You know, and there is sort of an unspoken assumption that if they pay for you, you'll say yes. Which, if you have enough money, some people say no, but they never expect it. They're just very much like, "I'll pay for dinner, let's get dinner," and they expect you to just be like, "Hey, really? Thank you." It's like, you've been to a lot of hostess clubs, haven't you?
But to be honest, I think not only me, but also most of men who go to hostesses, we little bit expect after changing the contact details, and then maybe I get asked for a date, and then we go dating, and maybe something happened. I know it's a hostess. I pay. That's why she treated me like a good. But if I can do well, maybe I can date or something happen with her.
I think instead of expect, you mean hope.
Hope. Yeah,
You hope. Yeah, hope. I think that's the part of the point of it. It's the whole, if you try, maybe this will happen. And you get to talk to someone who maybe would normally be out of your league. So normally especially I think in Japan, often men don't really have the courage to approach women.
It depends on, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, in general, like if you saw a really beautiful woman, you probably wouldn't just be like, "Hey, do you want to go on a date with me?" There's that nervousness. And so it gives you a chance to sort of speak to someone who you think's really pretty, and maybe something will happen. And that's why you keep coming back. And that's why they like exchange contact details and text you occasionally to be like, "Hey, what are you up to? How's your day? Sorry, were you at work?" Like, I hated that, was really lazy, so I just texted people when I was working. But like really good hostesses will text everyone every day.
I think it's special skills because they try to keep good distancing, not so close, not so far. Always, I mean, they make customers comfortable and just, try to, they have hope. Yeah. Maybe she love me. Oh, I have a chance to have blah, blah, blah. It's
a hard balance. So basically, if you're too cold, they won't come back. If you're too, I like you, they'll come for a while and then they'll be like, if you like me, why won't you see me outside of work? And then they'll stop coming. So you have to get that middle balance of like, this is work, but you're enjoying it so much, you'll come anyway. And that's really hard. So you can get a lot of money in a short period of time if you do the whole like, but I really like seeing you. And if they're like, oh, let's go then, and you're like, it's too soon, we need to get to know each other, you can earn money within that period. But then eventually they'll sort of stop coming because of it. And so it's sort of that awkward balance of like, also there's a thing called dohan, which you know about, but probably people watching don't, which is where you go for dinner with a customer and then they come to your club. So you
together.
So you get money back for that, which is why it's a good thing to do. And it means they get to take you to a restaurant and talk to you in private. And I have a really awkward story about dohan.
Have you ever
done
dohan?
And it was actually the customer who introduced me to this other club as well. And I went and I was wearing like tights with thigh-high boots because I love thigh-high boots. And Japan is like the only place you can wear them without looking like a stripper. So I love thigh-high boots.
It's very normal.
Overseas it's... But I didn't realize we were going to a place where you had to take off your shoes. And my tights had this huge hole all down the inside of the leg and on my foot. And he was with other people as well. So I took off my boots and he was like, you have holes in your tights. And I was like, I didn't know I had to take my shoes off. I'm sorry. And after that, every time he saw me, he gave me 500 yen for tights. Like we'd meet and he'd be like, here, buy some tights. So in Japan, remember, you always have to take your shoes off a lot. Don't wear holes in tights. But dohan as well is like a way to get closer to the customer, but it's that awkward balance of not too close. Most awkward situation I've ever been in, before dohan, a customer took me home to his house. I met his wife and children.
His wife allowed it?
She was just like, oh, do you speak like English? Oh, the kids are learning English. Where are you from? Just spoke to me normally. And he was just like, my wife doesn't care that I go to hostess clubs.
Oh,
and
she knew you were hostess.
I think so. Because in the car, I was like, I'm really uncomfortable with this. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I do not understand how you could do that, but she was very friendly. The children, I spoke English with them. They showed me the English homework, and then we went out for dinner. And
but actually, many married women say, I think it's better to go hostess or kabakura than cheating.
In Japan.
In Japan,
right?
yeah. If their husband cheat, they say it's better to go to kabakura or hostess because they just talk.
What I've also heard is in Japan, like I've just asked Japanese people, would you prefer that your partner paid for sex or cheated like in a club, say got drunk? And generally foreigners are more likely to say got drunk because you got really drunk, it was an accident. Japanese people are more likely to say paid for sex because it was a business transaction and there were no feelings involved.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, I think most of my female married friends say so. Maybe it's my guess, but I think so. Yeah.
It's sort of because you paid for it, it's not cheating. There's sort of a difference here that I don't get because I'm a New Zealander and it's all cheating to me.
Both cheating for you.
Yeah, they're all. Like I'd prefer it if someone got really drunk because then it's like an accident, you know.
It's accident.
It happens, but paying for it, I'm like, you chose. You could have just come home. Why? Yeah, very different way of thinking there. So I have found often girls' bars don't have as many foreign tourists going to them because if foreign tourists are going to pay for something, they usually want to pay for sex. They don't want to pay to sit and talk and have the hope of sex.
Okay. So I think most kind of Western countries, if you pay to women our service, it means kind of have sexual service.
Yeah.
But only in Japan, we pay for just talking. Praise me. Make me so comfortable. You're amazing. You're so funny. I know. Thank you.
I think it's quite unique. I mean, I think some other Asian countries, and also I've heard Las Vegas has male escorts who will just keep you company, but it's not really common. It's sort of like, you generally, if you're paying for it, you would expect more. Whereas here it's like, yeah, you're going to pay all this money, like ichiman an hour just to sit and chat and get girls drunk that you pay for.
Yeah. So, I think kabakura or, hostesses is like a, how can I say, therapies? I mean, for Japanese men. What do you think? It's a therapy, no?
Probably sometimes. Yeah. I mean, guys just makes them feel better.
Yeah.
I think good hostesses are better at that. They're very good at talking and making people feel comfortable. If you go to the cheaper places, it's usually just more like, yay, let's drink. Yeah. So that's a general overview of the sort of main types of hostess clubs in Japan.
Yeah. To be honest, I miss hostess now.
I'm not supposed to go to host clubs because I have a boyfriend, but I miss host clubs as well. Next time, should we do like a little fake hostess experience? I can pour you drinks and go, hey, Meshida, omoshiroi!
Yeah, actually, I have never thought you're a hostess because you never ever praise my jokes.
Pay me.
You just say, oh, your English is bad.
That's what you're paying me for. You pay me to correct your English. If you want to pay me to laugh, I'll do that as well.
Okay, so anyway, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. So hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.